Let me ask you a quick question. As a realtor, have you ever been in a transaction where everything was going smoothly and then one unexpected legal issue showed up and the whole deal almost blew up? Maybe it was a boundary dispute or a surprise lien or a contract misunderstanding, or worse, your client calling in, a panic to you and saying, "Do I need to get an attorney for this?" If you're a realtor like me, you already know legal issues don't just cost time, they cost trust, they cost momentum, and sometimes they cost the deal themselves. But what if you could walk into every listing presentation with a built-in safety net for your client and for yourself? That's exactly what Legal Shield allows you to do. As realtors, we wear a lot of different hats, right? Advisor, negotiator, educator, problem solver. But there's one role we shouldn't be playing, and that is legal expert. So clients don't always realize how many legal questions come up during the buying and the selling process. Sometimes they wonder, can I break this contract? What does this clause really mean? What if something shows up after the closing? Am I exposed to any liability here? And when those questions come up, they rightly often turn to you first because you're the trusted advisor. But Legal Shield gives you a professional, affordable solution to be able to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not an attorney, but I've got one for you. Let me just share a quick story with you. A friend of mine, a realtor, had a listing where everything was on track until a buyer raised concerns about a property boundary. And of course, this happened just days before closing, right? So normally this would mean scrambling to find an attorney, paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars up front to get this figured out, delaying the closing, and of course, stress for everyone involved. But this realtor had already offered the seller a Legal Shield membership at the listing presentation. The client picked up the phone, called their Legal Shield law firm, and they had answers that same day. No panic, no blown timelines, no finger pointing. The deal closed on schedule, and the realtor became the hero of the story. So that, my friends, is not luck. That is what we call preparation. When you introduce Legal Shield at your listing presentation, 3 powerful things happen. First, you instantly differentiate yourself. So most realtors, rightly so, they talk about marketing, photos, open houses, pricing, strategy, all good things, but very few talk about legal protection. And when you do, you're going to stand out as someone who thinks ahead and protects their clients beyond the sale. Number 2, you reduce risk and liability. So when clients have access to an attorney, they get accurate legal advice, fewer misunderstandings, fewer emotional decisions that derail deals. And that means fewer situations where you get pulled into something that simply isn't your role. And finally, number 3, you're going to build long-term, trust. Legal Shield doesn't end at the closing. Your client keeps, having access to contract review, real estate document support, and access to their attorneys for life's everyday issues. So you're not just the realtor who sold them a house, you are the professional who helped to protect their future. And here's the best part. Most people assume that legal help is expensive, that it's intimidating, and it's only for emergencies. Legal Shield flips that script. So for about the cost of a dinner out each month, your clients get unlimited consultations with the law firm. Unlimited. They get contract and document review. They get letters and phone calls made on their behalf. And most importantly, they get peace of mind before, during, and after the transaction. So instead of telling a client, I'm sorry, go find a lawyer, hope it doesn't cost you too much, you get to say, here is an affordable legal resource that you can use anytime. Now that, my friends, is real value. So one thing that many people don't realize is that buying or selling a home is one of the, biggest life events where legal protection really matters, especially when it comes to your family. So anytime you move, you change assets, or you go through a major transition, that is the perfect time to ask, do I have a will? Is my will up to date? Most families don't avoid creating a will because they don't care. They avoid because they don't know where to start, or they assume that it's just going to be too expensive. With Legal Shield, clients can have a will prepared or updated by an attorney as part of their membership. So no searching, no big legal bills, just guidance and peace of mind. And for many clients, that ends up being one of the most valuable parts of their membership, because it's not just about protecting a single transaction, it's about protecting the people that you love. So I know right about now you're wondering, how am I going to do this? How do I present this? Well, it doesn't have to be complicated. You simply say something like, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, part of how I take care of my clients is making sure that you're protected legally, not just during the sale, but beyond it as well. I offer an optional Legal Shield membership that's going to give you direct access to a real estate attorney whenever questions come up. And many of my clients, just love having that extra peace of mind, and I'm sure that you will too, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's it. No pressure, no hard sell, just leadership. And the other thing that I want to be very transparent about, because professionalism matters. When I offer Legal Shield, it's not just a benefit for my clients. We as realtors can also choose to be compensated, for sharing it. And here is why, that's actually makes sense. Realtors already recommend inspectors, we recommend mortgage, lenders, title companies, service providers, and we do this every day. Legal Shield simply allows you to offer a legal resource that genuinely protects your client. And if they decide it's valuable, then you're compensated for making that introduction. That's it. Simple. There's no obligation, there's no pressure, and no change to how you already serve your clients. The value comes first, always. It's one of the few ways to ethically add income while doing something that you should be, already be doing, and that is helping your clients protect themselves. So if you're a realtor who wants to stand out in your listing or buyer's presentations, you want to protect your clients and your commissions, you want to reduce stress and legal guesswork and add real value without adding complexity, then it's time to take a serious look at Legal Shield. The next step is simple. Just get back to the person who shared this video, schedule a quick overview to see how this fits seamlessly into your real estate business. Start offering more protection, not more paperwork. Be the realtor who's remembered long after the closing. Because in real estate, the best deals don't just close, they are protected. Thank you.